Looking good. This is easier to do if the wind's blowing. There's absolutely zero wind today, so if you're doing this into a 10-knot wind, you know, we're only sliding across the ground about 15 knots when it actually sits down. It's a lot easier. So now barely down with the collector, just a teeny bit, Don't flare. Down a little with the nose. Let it touch and surprise you. There you go, not too bad. All right, now barely down with the collector, just a little bit. Left pedal. A little left stick. Left pedal. All right, not too bad. Now, stay on here with me. I just want to show you a run-on takeoff. We're going to pick up and back up here. And 1 Tango Bravo, we'd like to back up on the runway here about 300-400 feet.
Yeah, that's a Brutus requested.
1 Tango Bravo. All right, so what I'm going to do is get down here to where the black kind of starts there. All right, now to do a run-on takeoff, what you got to do is, all right, I'm going to let you hover the aircraft. So get us in a stabilized hover. Yeah, see there, it's taking about 21 and a half, actually, almost 21 and a half. Okay, so go ahead and set the aircraft down now. Key points on a run-on takeoff is you got to keep the skids pointing the way you're going. And patience is a virtue, okay? Now, I have the aircraft down here with me. I want you to follow me through on there. So I'm just going to put it there, 19 inches of manifold pressure, right? That's 2.5 inches less than it took to hover, right? So we're simulating a fact where we don't have, you know, where the situation where we don't have enough power to hover. So now we're going to barely start coming forward with the stick. You can see it start just barely moving. Now right here's the key point. You got to be patient. Just wait on it, wait on it, wait on it. Eventually it'll start moving. There we go. Now it's actually moving, right? So as you feel it start moving, you feel the tail sit down. Feel that?
Yeah.
As it starts moving forward, we can come slightly forward on the nose. Got to keep that right pedal in there. Keep it pointing the way we're going. There we go. And we're in the air. All right. Now we're going to keep it at that same power setting. We're going to stay down here in ground effect to let that work for us. Look at our speed coming up. It's the same power it took. All right, so now get to about 55 and we're climbing. Now if we were actually doing this, we'd climb out at 55, which is the best, you know, the minimum descent speed or the speed at which the aircraft climbs the best at, you know. So, all right, you have the aircraft. That's a run-on takeoff. We'll try those later, but not today. The big thing about a run-on takeoff is you have to be patient, man. You've got to be patient. When you first just come forward a little on the stick, and you just wait on it. Eventually it'll start, you know, this has got to be done on a relatively smooth surface. I wouldn't try a run-on takeoff on side. It's just not going to work out well, you know. On a smooth surface like the runway here, it works out pretty good, but you have got to be patient until the aircraft actually starts moving forward a couple miles an hour, you know, so. All right, go ahead and make your radio call there.
Charter Tower, Helicopter 2 and 1 Tango Bravo is midfield right down 1 for runway 20. Request for option.
Helicopter 211 Tango Bravo, runway 20, cleared option.
Clear for the option, runway 20, Tango Bravo.
All right, carburetor heat full on. Ain't landing this thing better than run-ons. You do a regular landing, man. Maybe we'll just have you do run-on landings for the rest of you. All right, keep it coming on down. Come on around. All right, so now you probably figured out why they put wheels on all the military aircraft now. If it's unloaded, you know, if it's overloaded to be all, you know, somebody's trying to kill you and you're trying to get out of somewhere, and if you had to have the thing overloaded and getting out of a hole, you know, a relatively confined area, if you get it rolling a little bit and get through translational lift, it's going to fly, you know, much better. So you notice most of the military aircraft, all the helicopters used to have skids, and now they've gone to wheels on, you know, Black Hawk and all of them just about anymore. If you got to do a run-on landing, you know, and you got skids, I'm sorry, run-on takeoff and you got skids, you got to get enough, the helicopter's got to produce a crap load of lift, you know, to get it light on the skids to get it moving forward. If you're on wheels, it takes almost no amount of power to actually roll it on wheels, you know, so.
Yeah. I like the gyro.
Looking good, looking good. Maybe just a teeny bit slower. There you go, looking good. Now just barely down with the collective. I mean just kind of thinking about lowering the collective. Don't flare, don't flare. All right. Down a little bit with the collective. A little bit of right pedal. Yep, keep working those pedals. Whatever it takes to keep that nose straight. There you go. Good. And like I say, don't come back. Yeah, and you didn't. I'm not saying you did, but be sure don't come back on that stick to slow down. You want to all do it with, you know, coming in on it. Okay, go ahead and pick it up again. All right, come off that left pedal just a little bit. Come on up a little. There we go, looking good.
Shipyard Tower, helicopter 2 and 1 Tango Bravo is midfield, right down 1 for runway 20, request option.
Helicopter 211 Tango Bravo, 20 cleared option.
Clear for the option, runway 20, Tango Bravo.
All right, we'll do one more and then we'll go on to the next thing.
Alrighty.
Got to turn on a little bit of cabin heat in there. You know, other reasons you might have to do a run-on takeoff is, you know, if you had a stuck valve, the aircraft's not producing enough power, you know, or I've had a broken ring, had a little chunk pop out of the piston, stuck valves. There's a lot of different reasons you can get a power loss, but not a complete power failure, you know.
Yeah.
And you get to that point where the aircraft won't hover, then you're gonna have to do a run-on landing. You want to be sure that you've got room to slide. You know, you want to try to do a run-on landing into a parking area unless it's pretty clear. You know.